Welcome everyone to our first semifinal game between TAS and YUBI. This is the Luna side of the bracket. We're here on this Monday to see which one of these teams is going to be progressing towards the final game. I am joined today by Lolo for this first seed versus sixth seed match. TAS is here.
They are here, yes. This was not the most expected, but it's very nice to have them here because these guys always do bring an awful lot of fun to the table. And I was having a chat with them before the series, and they said, we're playing for content today, mate. We're going for...
They're here for the exciting game, and honestly, it's easy to look at the circumstances that brought them here and be like, oh, it's just kind of a fluke. But honestly, watching that set, they look like they definitely deserve to be here. This isn't like this was never impossible during the set for them to progress to this point. I'm happy to see them here, and I'm not exactly happy. I'm more confused. Cho'Gath with the first pick lock in on the side of TAS.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be surprised if this does go to K1ZZ, if only because we've seen from him primarily carries. Up there, things like the Irelia, the I think he's played. I'm trying to remember what he popped off on recently, maybe like Tryndamere or something. But like
he had the standout Silas game in playoffs.
Yes,
as well.
The Silas, that was it. Yeah, against I think a Malphite, wasn't it? Cold Blaster. So yeah, no, I'm more expecting this. I'm not sure where this is going, but if it is going up into the top lane, then it is certainly an interesting first pick. If we look at the bans, YUBI definitely favoring trying to limit his Maze champ pool as much as possible. It's interesting seeing the ban on the Malzahar off the table. That is a comfort champion for both of these mid laners, so they just don't want to be dealing with that potentially. I guess Civilot might be looking to play something more assassiny, but we'll have to see. Anyway, the Kayn, if this does get locked in, I like a lot.
Yeah, it was one of those successful picks for them during their previous game. B-Trade was able to do a lot with that pick into Church of Alfonso, just getting far enough ahead with it on the red Kayn, I believe. And I think they picked it up a couple times in that series. They're clearly very comfortable on it. MF locked in, that's always good to see. Wukong taken on the side of Universal Basic Income, and the Kog'Maw locked in for Gua. That is out of character.
Yes, it is actually. We've definitely seen... Gua definitely hasn't been the kind of standout carry on the side of TAS so far, but he's been making things work on scaling champs like Vayne. So the Kog'Maw, if he's able to, it's tough against an MF, not gonna lie. I mean, this champion, it's no surprise seeing the first pick there, as you said, Escape. Like, it's so strong in the meta at the moment, and immediately we are seeing a Poppy coming out in response from Utility Monster. This makes a lot of sense, obviously limiting the Kayn's options greatly. Very, very good adaptation there. And the Wukong obviously provides a huge amount of value in team fights. So it's going to be quite... we'll have to see what TAS bring to the table against this. If this is a Cho'Gath up in the top lane, I think he might struggle a little bit in that matchup. But if it is going elsewhere, then maybe, K1ZZ wants to match it with something that he can, be a bit more aggressive on, look for some solos.
Yeah, and obviously that Kog'Maw, we don't see the Lulu locked in yet. That's usually something that you would want to secure if you're going to go for that bot lane option. So this could be Kog'Maw with the AP build in the mid lane. It's not the strongest thing in the world right now, but it does have some potency if you want to go for the more poke-oriented composition. There's that Lulu band away. It's going to be where TAS wants to take that pick. Obviously, it can be a strong late game carry in either role. Just taking out these last couple of bans, there's a set taken away, but that will be kind of the cornerstone of their composition about where they're going to put this comp together, and they're yet to show us where they're going to put it.
Well, as I said before, TAS are definitely looking for some source with this composition, so I'm ready for anything. But we do see the Amumu locked in. This has fallen out of favor in the meta since the nerf on the bandage wrap with the mana increase, but still. It does just provide a huge amount of synergy with the MF, the Curse of the Sad Bullet Time. It's a very, very scary combination, and of course that will shred a Kog'Maw completely if they get on him. So there is a lot of teamfight potential on the side of YUBI right now, and I'll be interested to see what the mid lane matchup is, because that's definitely what both of these teams are trying to hold that last pick for, or prioritize right at the end there. But we are going to see Camille. It's interesting to pit this into a Poppy, of course, because it does limit her ability to get onto the back line. But yeah, the mid lane is what I want to see.
And it does beg the question of where that Cho'Gath is going to end up. Obviously, kind of without a home right now. Obviously, could go mid lane. That's not completely unheard of. But no, that Rise seems a lot more comfort there. So maybe that'll be Cho'Gath taken down into the bot lane, if I had to assume. into the MS Yumi, or excuse me, MF Yumi. I'm just so used to saying that at this point. The MF Amumu instead, which, like you said, has fallen out of favor. The mana costs on both of them now have been increased, which just means that they get to take fewer trades. But honestly, Jeff God Gamer, who's finally returned with Brian saying they've always been good at making the most out of those trades that they've had. And that Corki in the mid lane potentially for Civil Lock, always been a very good scaling option, great in those team fights. And like you say, they have so much team fight ability. And he's not the worst option either. Does have that big stun, the ability to roam. I would like to see Predator Annie just because the high speed bear delivery is always very entertaining. But yeah, very team fight oriented team composition out of YUBI, and kind of a scattered draft from TAS.
Absolutely, we are. That's the crying special, of course. That Annie there, which just we saw so many bans towards the mid laners here that I do love to see that come out. It does provide even more CC. There is so much CC sitting on the side of UB right now, as you said, and with the MF back there, just firing rounds off whilst everyone gets locked down, it is going to be very difficult for TAS to work around this. I definitely favor UB's draft a lot more, but we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like that you mentioned that Cryan's kind of somewhat successful pick on that in Worlds. Obviously, we've seen Civlock be more successful here than Cryan was there, but he's been very, very strong on this Annie. And there's the boot start that we wanted to see. And it is going to be Predator Annie out of that. We do see the Ignite in the top lane for Freelancer on that Wukong. Going to bully. This Cho'Gath pick, though, is where I have to keep my focus, because normally you want to take something that's going to be able to protect Kog'Maw, and sure, you have the silence, sure, you have the knockup, but what's that doing in the bot lane?
I mean, he's gone Comet as well, so he's not looking, for some kind of... You'd see this maybe with a Senna, of course. That was something that, used to be picked alongside things like Sion, potentially even like a Wukong or something. But I'm honestly not sure. I don't know how much peel this champion is going to be able to provide a Kog'Maw realistically. Of course, if he does get big enough, then he can provide suitable frontline. But against a composition with this much CC, I think he's still going to have his work cut out for him.
Yeah,
but yeah.
I think that normally, like you say, you'd see this Cho'Gath support put into a lane where he's allowed to CS with Senna, who is the least greedy ADC that you'll ever come across. She's able to generate gold on her own. That's not Kog'Maw, though. Kog'Maw is the most greedy ADC, demanding, generally 3 people to play around him, get him as much gold as possible. Your team fights are going to be completely dictated by the little Void Puppy. And he has the damage to kind of justify that, but Cho'Gath just feels odd for that. Both junglers deciding to start on the bot side, though. Utility Monster grabbing that leash is probably going to be a little bit behind, though, as the ridiculous clear that Kayn has on those Raptors. And those junglers will both be working towards the top side into what will be quite a volatile matchup in the top lane here.
Yeah, and whilst we do see, obviously, a very unconventional bot lane, well, on one side anyway, the other's fairly conventional, but it is the top side of the map that we are going to be having to keep our eyes on here, because it's where TAS have found the most success. To say that, a little bit of trading there, but it's where TAS have found the most success in the games where they have stood out is with K1ZZ and Baytray becoming, very going aggressive.
Oh, and to say that, there's the engage in the bot lane there. Gua caught out, not yet burning the flash. There it is, finally comes up with this, the flash to fall off from Jeff God Gamers. They do pick up that first kill. There's the passive to try and go into Brian Sang, but I don't think it's going to be quite enough. Not yet picking up the extra level for that Kog'Maw damage on the passive. Yeah, just a very good trade. There's the potency of the level 2 on that MF Mumu. I say that there's a trade in the top side.
Yeah, we do see, of course, that the ability of K1ZZ to get onto this Wukong is limited a little bit by the clone, but even so, he is definitely getting the better of these trades early on, and that does bode well for TAS. Obviously, the bot lane already not the best start for them, as we saw it. Not very easy for the Cho'Gath to stop the Amumu just jumping straight onto to Gua right there. So that's going to be a little bit tough for them. But yeah, as you said, this top side, I think, is definitely where they're going to, find the most success. And with the ability of the Rise, obviously, to roam up potentially, Kayn's ability, Kayn is so mobile as well, then that's definitely where they're going to be looking for. But it's going to be quite tricky. I mean, the Annie, it's a perfectly good pick into this Rise, I think, because it is able to match on the clear. And it is going to limit, with the Predator, of course, she's going to be able to match the roams fairly effectively. As we do see.
Yeah, here's that Prio topside coming into play now. K1 trying to chase down Utility Monster. W does wear up from Poppies. He goes down to 100 HP, flashing out Betray to chase. K1, however, has been taken low by Freelancer, who's getting the damage down. And we see that Sivlock has already made the roam up to the top lane. There's the Predator prop, but Hisme is here to match. And so far, this has all been over a Scuttle Crab, but I think that the Scuttle Crab is going to go over to the side of TAS, who did have that priority in the top side. Kills traded back and forth, and there's that TP burned.
Yeah, there's the TP, of course. The Ignite's burned on both sides as well. And overall, I think this is quite good for TAS because K1ZZ, of course, does have the TP to get back to lane quite so quickly. Not the case for Utility Monster on this Poppy. And that's already putting Betray into a nice early lead, which is exactly what they've TAS have gotten quite, had success on before. And it looks like he's going for the gank.
Yeah, and I mean, how do you get out of this one as Freelancer? Great E there from K1 to land it down onto that invisible Wukong. Getting the stun pretty much under the tower there. Assist was not actually picked up, I don't believe, there from Betray, which is unfortunate. Solo kill wasn't taken by K1, but, obviously putting Freelancer further behind, does have that teleport available and will use it. And that will give TP advantage over to K1 once those timers come back up. But yeah, like you say, pressure from Betray, able to get so much done on that Kayn. And that could be a problematic thing for YUBI to try and deal with.
Yes, absolutely. And as we see on the bot side here, this is definitely, and this is always how TAS have played this, a bit of a weak side bot lane here. If they're able to, obviously with the additional clear from the Cho'Gath, it is going to make it a little bit easier for them to avoid getting dived. We aren't seeing too much attention from Utility Monster just yet. He's going to be looking to clear at the moment, so... Can they...
Quick little bandage shots. I'm surprised with the damage there. Does decide to go deep under turret, but are you going to trade back to the Kog'Maw? No. Brian does manage to get his way out with the flash and with the ignite. And now Gua is just left all alone in that bot lane. That's 2 kills picked up in the 2v2 by TAS. Betray not spotted by Utility Monster. Does start to take the trade. Is there going to be any rotation there? No, I don't think so. But Brian saying is going to be the first one there. Gua unable to match. And that is just, yeah, kill picked up in the bot lane. Well done to JeffGodGamer and Brian Sang. Obviously such a dominant bot lane as they have been historically, and they are going to pick up that kill.
Yeah, and just as I said, obviously, it's them trying to mitigate the damage. Hang on.
I say that, you can't stop fighting. This top lane gets so insane. This level 6 was picked up by Freelancer first, and now K1's trying to run away. Does have the mid lane prior to run to, but he is not getting matched. Hisme staying there, leaving his top laner all out alone, and it gets so close. The Camille damage is so high, but the lack of that level 6 is the difference, and that is a solo kill picked up by Freelancer.
And this is really rough for K1ZZ because he did have to burn that TP on that earlier scuffle back up there in the top side, so... That's going to give Freelancer an early push right now. And yeah, priority across the map now for the side of YUBI. And it's going to make it very difficult for them to contest this Drake. However, there is going to be a base here from the bot side of YUBI. So hang on.
Sivlock finding Hisme in the jungle. It's so much damage just out of Timbers there. Keeping him zoned off the wave. Probably going to force out a recall, actually. The TP was already burned from Hisme down to just under 400 HP. That is not how you really want to come back to lane right there. And I think this early game priority from YUBI has been really focused on, obviously this Poppy does so much in the early stages with those ganks, with the Dark Harvest. JeffGodGamer and Brian Sang being able to leverage their advantage in the bot lane over what is a Kog'Maw that's going to take a while to scale up. I would give Camille the advantage in the later stages, and right now YUBI's trying not to give it to them.
Yes, absolutely, and this is going to be really, really difficult for TAS to come back from. I mean, the gold lead, it's 2k nearly, or 1.5k at the moment, and it's not insurmountable by any means, but traditionally, they found it very, very difficult to come back from games which they've, had issues with.
Yeah, and that's the MF in the bot lane. Nothing else to say there.
Just such a strong lane, and Betray's coming in.
Yeah, and so is Hisme now with the Realm Morph, making this 4v2 in the bot lane. There's no level 6 picked up yet for Brian Sang. JeffGodGamer's already put it on cooldown, but Hisme already goes so low. There's the 1 kill picked up for Betray, but traded back from JeffGodGamer. The exhaust is down, but Jeff is so far ahead. Utility Monster is here to try and make the cleanup come through. There's the knockup onto Ombo. JeffGodGamer getting taken so low from the Kog'Maw passive and the minion aggro. Utility Monster unable to pick up the kill on Ombo. And at the end of the day, I believe that is a 2-for-1 in favor of YUBI.
It is indeed. A little bit of a attempted drive-by there from the side. Oh my goodness!
Oh, well played from Utility Monster to pick up the double kill, and he will escape from the tower on a sliver of HP. And that is 4 kills picked up on the bottom side of the map from YUBI, extending their gold out to 3,000, and JeffGodGamer's just going to take the victory plate.
Yeah, Betray's going to try to chase him here. Utility Monster's got to be a little bit careful. I think they're not going to be able to take the Drake just yet, but Yeah, absolutely. A little bit of a, the fleet comes in, trying to get onto the bot side there, but they just hold it out. And as you said, Jeff Got Gamer so much further ahead of Gua right now, pumping out that damage, especially with the Poppy, of course, of denying Betray and Kisme from getting onto him.
Yeah.
Yeah, already he's absolutely unleashed. This Poppy is also, after that beautiful little dive there from the utility monster, absolutely unleashed as well, and just wins across the map now for the side of YUBI. It's looking pretty bleak for TAS already.
Yeah, and how does TAS slow this game down from here? That's what they need to be looking for, finding a way to get some gold in their pocket, but K1 getting the engage down on the top lane. He's getting taken solo by Freelancer, diving underneath the turret. Surely he'll pick it up. The ultimate gets popped, but he can't walk out of the Hextech ultimatum, and that is a 1-for-1 trade. You take that if you're K1 in the top lane. Sivlock flashing onto Hisme, does pick up that solo kill in the mid lane, and these junglers kind of getting ignored so far. There's the curse of the sad bullet time down onto Onvo. That is the third kill picked up for Jeff God Gamer in that bot lane, and we were just passing from top to mid to bot lane. Kills picked up everywhere by YUBI, and this lead gets bigger.
It really does, and this support Shogath not really paying dividends right now, unfortunately. It looks like he's going to be trying to hang on.
Oh no, Gua, you're caught under tower. There's nowhere to go. Brian Sang is going to pick up the bandage toss, and then the heal comes down. Will he die to the minions? I think he's going to make it out.
Absolutely clutch. Oh, wow. And they're having a field day right now, this bot lane. You couldn't ask for a better return to form from Jeff God Gamer, could you, right now? He's being given all the space in the world to hang on. Betray's going to try to stop that.
But I don't think this is really good if you're TAS, because Utility Monster is here. Brian Sang hanging out in the winds, looking for a bandage toss. Maybe is there going to be an over-aggressive play? Yes, it is. Betray picking up the kill. Jeff God Gamer chasing down Onbo on the other side of the screen, and then Utility Monster picking up the kill. Jeff God Gamer going unstoppable. At 10 minutes into the game, we see 14 kills picked up already from YUBI, and I don't think Gua's safe under this turret. You have a Poppy that's level 8. You have a Misfortune who's level 8. They look for the stun. They do find it. This dive under the tower is so easy for YUBI to take down a 15th kill against TAS, and that Poppy is huge, the MF is huge, and so is the gold lead.
Well, TAS did say they were playing for source, but it definitely looks like the bottle's pretty full for YUBI, right? Oh my goodness. I mean, K1's easy in response. He's managing to match Freelancer fairly well, but he's definitely not getting the kind of snowball that you would be expecting from a game where they'd be doing a little bit better. He's going to get a plate or two, but I mean, I don't know what to say about this bot side right now. It's an absolute disaster. Obviously, the Cogmore, if he does get a bit of time to scale, will be doing pretty well later on in the game, but he's already 40 CS down, and this MF is, well, she's pretty huge, to say the least. Not to mention the 5-1 Poppy just chilling there as well, by the way, so I'm not sure here how TAS can really contest for objectives. There's already a Drake gone down. No Heralds have been picked up just yet. So there aren't any turrets taken either. I mean, plates are still there for a couple more minutes. So there's still plenty of opportunity for YUBI to extend their advantage there. But it is a very big gold lead early on. But the map state, it's not... It's a bit of copium, but it could be worse for them right now.
Yeah, you never want to be down 5k at 12 minutes. Obviously, Gua now getting caught kind of under this tower. It looks like Brian Sang might be trying to find something now. Betray also taking a trade in the top lane. Just a little bit of a scuffle back and forth there. Now, we have made references to things we've seen at Worlds so far, and it's hard not to. And I'm not allowed to talk for even a moment here. Freelancer finding the engage down onto mid lane. His mate falls so quickly. And what I was going to say is we've seen things happen at Worlds quite a few times, so please reassure me that Jeff will not be building an IE, but instead he's going to make roadkill out of this bot lane. Double kill under the turret. Brian Sang finding the engage. Curse of the sad bullet time underneath that turret. You said that they were going to pick up plates, but will K1 pick up the return kill? Trying to find his way onto Brian Sang. Will he get him low? Yes, there's the ignite. Yes, there's the Q. Now, can you beat the 5, 6, 7, and OMF? Flashes into the bush. Gets him completely disoriented. It's so close! And they trade the 1,000 gold shutdown onto that Camille. K1 saying this game is not over yet.
Finally, the 2007 Ford Fusion K1ZZ just sidles his way into the bot lane there and picks up that 1k. It's something. it's something there for TAS. It's it is going to be able to allow him to get a little bit of gold back on the board, but with this Herald in the meantime being picked up, there's still plates for 20 more seconds, and this tower's gone.
Ooh, yeah, quick reaction there from YUBI to get their plates onto the top side. A good cross-map play. And I am reassured to say that that will be a bloodthirst out of the Misfortune. I was worried we were going to see another 40% IE. But I guess Betray's going to have to worry about something a little bit extra as there's the engage under the turret there. There's the Realm Warp getting failed there. I guess CC'd by the Amumu, but no worries. Betray able to pick up the kill. And now Freelancer caught in a 3v1. Will he be able to pick up the kill back onto Betray? No. We see a trade back into the bot side now. Civlock finding Gua, but Gua is just a sad little dog trying to find his way away from this bear. And is he going to be able to waddle away from this Predator? Annie, I think he might be able to. Civlock trying to chase past the turret. They're sending Timbers under tower, and that might be enough. No, picks up the 50 gold. That is the biggest 50 gold that you will pick up in the entire game there, getting rid of that Timbers bear. Yeah, more fighting, but I actually finally some gold back to TAS.
Yeah, actually quite a lot, and importantly, oh God Almighty, this poor Cogmore is really this is the duality of Cogmore. You know, when he gets ahead, he is a fountain laser on legs, but when he's behind, he's next to useless.
Oh, he's still taking part in the fountain.
He is definitely still, he's in the fountain for sure, one way or another. But yeah, going back to this, I mean, we are seeing some crucial shutdowns going on to the Camille and to the Kane, which, to be fair, as we already said, this is where the gold does want to be distributed for TAS. Freelancer's going to have another go at this.
He's never going to say stop in this top lane, is he? K1 trying to get some trading back, does have that Mythic finally finished up. Freelancer getting the better of K1 in the trade so far, and it looks like that will be advantage to the Wukong. And, yeah. And finally, you might be allowed to finish what you were trying to say.
He does have Hextech Ultimatum here, so there is an ult advantage, but I'm not sure if he wins. He's going to wait for it, and Betray is coming back up here. More pressure just being expended on the bot side. Freelancer might be dead.
Yeah, this is what you have to look out for. Maybe overstaying that top lane, didn't realize K1 was still in that bush. There's such a huge chunk from the Camille auto attack. Betray is going to pick up that kill, but look who's been caught in the river. Poor Gua, walking over the pink ward, getting picked up by 4 members of YUBI, and this is a 31 kill game at 15 minutes.
Oh my goodness. I mean, we did say we were looking for content, and this is definitely content right now. This is very enjoyable viewing. I do really feel sad for Gua right now. This is a very, very sad state of affairs for this Cogmore.
Oh no. Yeah, there's the Predator proc. Civlock hunting down the rise of the bot lane. The flash is burnt, but are you going to be able to run away from Annie? Obviously does have the speed up on the E. There it comes. Surely won't miss the Q now. Is he going to get into range for it? There's the auto attack. There's the flash forward. Does pick up the Q. Does pick up the kill on Civlock.
Okay, and, you know, there is a bit of a cross map there. Finally, they do get a top turret. That's 1 turret on the board for TAS, but... yeah, I almost don't blame Gua right now for going up there into the river. I mean, it's possibly not the best decision, but he just doesn't want to be in bot lane right now. Bot lane looks like a little bit of a... it's littered with the corpses of previous TAS lives already. It's not the safest place for one poor little Cogmore. As I say that,
more corpses on the top side of the map.
Yes, absolutely. At least it's a little bit more even there. But in the meantime, the mid lane is going to get pushed in now. It's a 3-1 turret lead for the side of YUBI. The gold lead is, at the very least, it's sitting now at a fairly consistent 6. Maybe actually, well, it's moving up to about 7 now. But even so, they have so much pressure on the bot and mid side. And Freelancer, he's got TP. Hold on.
Engaged from Betray. He was trying to find something on a Jeff God Gamer who has been taken down a half. There's a flash forward from Ombo. Curse the Sad Money does come down to peel down that ADC, and then does barely manage to walk away, but does go down to the Cho'Gath Q, but everyone has collapsed down onto the remaining members of TAS, and the only one living is the one who was sent to the fountain first. K1 left to defend versus 4.
I'm not sure if I fancy his chances, Escape. I'm not sure about you. I mean, I suppose they, well, obviously, there is always a little bit of a question on whether you do try to take an inhib this early, just because obviously the comeback effects of the super minions giving you a bit more XP and gold. So instead, either way, they don't need to extend themselves at all at the moment. They have so much control of the map right now, so they're just going to take their resets off, and there are no real neutral objectives on the map, so, you know, it's just a good time for a buy, I think, and you be able to, if we do, just as they are walking back onto the map, take a look at the items right now. There are a couple of items sitting on the cane and almost on the... Hold on.
Oh no, Gua.
Oh.
Oh, nothing left to say there. 0-9 on the poor Kog'Maw. He's not been left alone this entire game, and there's Freelancer picking up his free little goodie bag.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, say that trade back in the bot side though. K1 deciding to avenge his ADC, trying to take down Freelancer. The Ignite is ticking. It might take him down. Jeff God Gamer also solo killed in the top lane by Betray, but now caught in a 2v1. Is he going to be able to find his way out of here? Is he going to just take the fight instead? There's no healing reduction here between the two of them. Kane obviously able to do so much if there's nothing stopping him from healing back his HP. There's W connected. Brian Sang going very low. The lock in his pop. There's the managed toss to trade back. That was very close in the top lane. Kill picked up bot lane and top lane for TAS. And really, that's nothing to complain about. They do start to bring this gold lead back.
There are definitely signs of life, all of it coming from this top side of TAS right now. That was Betray doing his absolute hardest there. It is so hard to do this against a Poppy, though, and those are love taps right now from the Kog'Maw, realistic. Oh, never mind.
But they do start to add up after a little while. You can't ignore that is percent max health damage coming up from 710 range out of that Kog'Maw. Utility Monster is taken, you know, just enough to start paying attention there, having to walk out of the topside jungle of TAS, and now K1 matched up against Sivlock doesn't immediately take this engage. This is as TAS as you can get. Non-stop fighting. Sivlock taken so low, and surely K1 will be able to pick this up. Does miss the W under tower, and he trades instead. No, Sivlock picks up the kill on his own under the tower. Sivlock is dominating in that bot lane, 6-0 on this Annie, and now Gua is just caught out once again. We've seen this time and time and again. Does burn the flash to get out of there. Now trying to trade back onto Freelancer, gets taken very low, but there's the bandage toss going forward. There's the ultimate out of Jeff God to get that last hit. And down goes Gua for the 10th time.
I mean, the most tragic thing about that, I mean, Gua dying, I'm sort of numb to it at this point, unfortunately. But it was a bit tragic that K1's Easy did miss the tactical sweep there. He might have been able to at least trade under tower. But yeah, Sivlock is putting on a clinic with this Annie. You know, we talked about it already. It's seen a little bit of a showing at Worlds, just as a it just does so much with very little, I guess, you know, variance, because it is point and click CC. It just does, especially with the Predator, she's able to be around the map and, well, side lane relatively effectively against Camille, even if she does have a tower sitting there. And, well, you know, you definitely can't complain. Sivlock absolutely huge right now. He's alongside, well, all of the carries, of course, on YUBI looking very, very fed right now. There is a Baron and a Dragon spawning. Well, Baron's up, but Dragon's spawning in about 40 seconds time, and that is sole point for the side of YUBI. It does look like they are going to be working their way down into that river, get themselves some vision there potentially, but maybe not. Maybe they're going to go on K1's Easy instead.
Yeah, K1's starting to initiate this fight, and it looks like they were trying to find some level of a 4v5 there for a minute, knowing that Utility Monster was in that top side, but instead it's not going to happen. Now Sivlock hunting down Hisme, flashing forward, gets the double Tibbers down, but he is alone. Hisme trying to trade some damage back, but it is blocked out by Tibbers. Hisme under 100 HP, does get flashed on by Utility Monster. There is 2 kills picked up there. Gua once again caught out, once again getting taken down by the Misfortune, and this looks like it will be game for YUBI.
Yeah, that is that's the last little thing there, is the poor Kog'Maw. Oh, Betray? What does he have?
The ability to 1v5. The ability to 1v5. Get in there, Betray. Try and hold your next...
I believe. I don't believe anymore.
Just disappears off the map, and that is going to be the first game of semifinals going into the hands of YUBI at 1-0 so far in this best of 5 over TAS.
49 kills, 22 minutes. Can't complain. I mean, I'm not sure what more to say beyond the TAS really did bank on, you know, trying to get their lanes, particularly their top lane, their top side of the map ahead early, but giving not nearly a good enough bot lane duo to stand up against such a strong opposing bot lane duo when you're already playing weak side, it just made life absolutely, you know, unplayable for poor Gua and for Ambo. And eventually, I mean, you know, there were signs of life, of course, from TAS, which we do hope to see more of as we go into the next game. But I think whilst they are looking for source here, I think they are going to have to play a little bit safer with their comp in order to, you know, stem the bleeding before it gets out of hand too early.
Yeah, obviously, that bot lane was unfortunately a little bit of a crack in the windshield there for TAS as it slowly grew and got a little bit out of control, and then there was no replacement in time Jeff God Gamer and Brian Sang, as usual, able to just stomp out that bot lane, able to take over the game. Sivlock, hard to ignore how well he did. K1 was trying to make some trades back in the top lane, but I think that is just a very dominant game out of YUBI, and they will be moving forward. Both teams will into our second game, which will be coming up right soon. Don't go anywhere.
I think UB's biggest strength is that they are very aggressive. They are not afraid to take a fight. They are not afraid to challenge objectives. They are not afraid to try wild and crazy picks and just push it balls to the wall. They kind of remind me of an LPL team, honestly. And it's hard to match their pace. If they can get ahead of you in pace, they almost never let their foot off the gas. I think UB, even with a sub, will make it really far in playoffs. But I think whether or not Jeff plays will determine if they are going to win the whole thing or not, or if they're going to be in contention for it. I think with a sub, at minimum, they make semifinals. Um, I think there's no question about that. But if Jeff can come back in the lineup, I think this team will be fighting for first place with HBK. I think it's going to be a 5-game series. I would rank UB in second with the asterisk of if Jeff God comes back in, it's a tie for first with HBK.